Now they use DocX. Boy, when they get to their 30th DocX format, what are they gonna do, dude? I didn't apply my own perk either. They're gonna be on DocXXX. I remember I used to have a subscription to official PlayStation magazine when I was like between the ages of 12 and 15. And that came up in like every issue. It was like, what is Final Fantasy going to do when they get to Final Fantasy 30? Keep in mind, at this point, they had made 10 Final Fantasies, and they'd been releasing like one every 18 months. Who would have thought 18 years later we'd be on Final Fantasy 15? I thought they would have gotten there. I thought they would have gotten there by 2020 or so. No. Too much reading equals no thank you. Revive companions, though? That actually seems incredibly useful. What's your favorite holiday cookie? I don't really have a sweet tooth, but during the holidays, I'm not an anti-gingerbread guy. I like gingerbread. Or like, you guys ever have like molasses cookies? I don't know, that's just what we always called them. I don't know if there's another name.
Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you. You have a message from Adjutant Sophia
I like 'em.
Akande.
Old people cookie choices? Excuse me, that's
I
like
almost expected
shortbread.
you wouldn't go through with it. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location.
Saved it as a PDF.
Still, it's only a matter of time before we find him. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony.
I'm gonna blast them all. I hope it's a trap. I hope it's a trap. Give me an excuse to keep blasting. So I don't know where we should go first. You guys have a preference on this one? Because I feel like long distance and start blasting is a good idea. Alright, I'll give it a try.
Welcome back, Captain.
No, I don't want to speak to you, please.
May luck.
Too much talking, not enough blasting. Have you seen the Sonic redesign? I'm gonna be careful about what I say, because Kate wants to see the movie, and I will go see her. I'll go see it with her. But like,
if I might say,
I
Captain.
think I'm mostly gonna be watching it for like ironic purposes. But I am stunned at how many people have like an opinion on the Sonic movie when it's like made for general audiences, i.e., like kids. Like, I just don't care when I see like these mostly dudes on Twitter that are like, you know, in their 30s or even older, and they're like, here's my opinion on the Sonic redesign. And I'm like, it's a kid's movie. It's a kid's movie.
Not so fast.
Whoops, my mistake. Well, when you're right, you're right. Oh, thank you. Sell junk, please. Buy ammunition, please. I would like many lights. That's 100 bits. It's fantastic. Might as well buy it all, dude. Sonic fans are adults. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so here's the thing. Like, Detective Pikachu is like, Pokemon fans are, a lot of them are adults. But Detective Pikachu is for kids.
We gotta talk about this.
It has the The movie has the beats of a child's movie, if that makes sense. And I don't even mean that to like look down on it, because I thought the movie was fine. But like, it is not a movie that is made specifically targeted at like a 25 to 35-year-old audience. I think it's enjoyable by everyone, relatively, but like particularly enjoyable by people that are like low double-digit ages.
How may I be of assistance?
I would like to speak to... Okay, never mind. That won't be necessary then. Through here. See ya.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's
25,000
also a
experience.
wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival.
Good.
You'll find that working for the board is spiritually and financially gainful. But that isn't why I asked you here. I understand you've infiltrated the ministry.
NL, have you ever
Things
seen
you
the
discovered there
Canadian
must have been shocking.
TV show Regenesis from the mid-200s?
Halcyon is on the verge
I
of a
wasn't
total
born
systems
until the late
collapse. The truth is
1980s.
ugly
So
and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth
it's
before we
about
can move forward.
1,600
Malnutrition
years
is
before
already
my
a problem.
time.
Disease will come
I have
next,
not.
followed
I'm
by
amazed
starvation,
Canadians
followed by a
were on the
breakdown
forefront of
society,
television.
Followed by extinction.
Really, like
I know
1,700
this
years
must
ahead
come
of
as
their
a
time.
surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
Adjutant Akande, as much of an honor as it is to make your acquaintance, I must say I am gravely disappointed. Protecting the colony was your duty.
I share your disappointment, Vicar DeSoto. Protecting Halcyon is my solemn duty, and I have been negligent. I can no longer depend on lazy, weak-willed bureaucrats to help me rescue Halcyon. I need someone with a backbone, someone like your captain.
So that's your solution. Put the whole colony on ice. People ain't gonna stand for this. We'll fight back.
No, I
We'll tear down
haven't seen the
walls of
show, but
Byzantium.
like
No, Mr.
that's
Millstone,
mid
you will
2000s
not.
is slightly out of my
The
Canadian
workers of
TV
Halcyon
wheelhouse.
will do exactly as they are told.
That was
as
my
they always
collegiate
have.
experience. All I watched is Hockey
Your
Night in
dreams of a
Canada.
People's Revolution are the juvenile fantasies of a frustrated child. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it.
Just tell me what you need done.
We need to talk about Emerald Vale. You handed Edgewater over to a band of dissidents. I can't
Did
have
I?
this. Adelaide McDevitt and her people have no place in the Halcyon that is to come.
Adelaide McDevitt is
Edgewater needs to go.
freaking dead, dude.
I want you to wipe the town out. No survivors.
Are you out of your mind? We're not gonna murder a town of innocent people.
Felix,
You do
Felix, please.
exactly
The
as
adults
you're
are
told,
talking.
Or I will have you shot for insubordination.
I cannot condone this plan. Wanton, senseless destruction of life is never the solution.
I don't need you to approve of my plan, Vicar. I need you to get it done. Now is not the time for half measures, Captain. I need a decision from you.
I'll do it.
Edgewater is beyond saving. We're going to have to erase the town, but we're going to do it systematically. You were in the Emerald Vale geothermal plant. Do you remember what you discovered there?
Blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Got it.
One.
Got it.
Report back.
Excuse me, boys. Felix, Felix!
Go on, Felix!
Oh! Oh, no, 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 no.
Never anger a man of the claw.
It's too many. It's too many.
You're going down. May the law have mercy on you. I won't.
Just make space. Make space while the sun's up. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. We had to take a life to save a life, but it was worth it. Are you still gonna destroy the city? It crossed my mind. It did cross my mind. I'm not gonna say that it didn't. Skip the hope to Terra 2. Max Chaos? Sure, I mean, well, actually, we don't even have the quest available anymore, right? No, I don't even think we have the quest does not exist anymore. I'm not gonna just senselessly murder a whole planet. If it gave me experience, I might consider it. It does under bungled. Oh, botched. You're not wrong.
Looks like we're doing this.
Oh, looks like we're doing this, by the way. This is my bad. I forgot. You're all very upset with me.
I'll take your confession now.
I thought this was going to be a zany playthrough. I mean, are we watching the same playthrough right now? This looks pretty zany to me, brother.
Excellent hit. Get up. Captain, get up.
I need guns. Lots of guns. I don't know. Like, we're getting close to the point where I'm like, you know, I know how I feel. Oh, hello, Daniel. I know how I feel about the Outer Worlds, and I think it is a good game, but I do think it's not as good as New Vegas. Screw. It's unfortunate to say it, but because it's so, I mean, for obvious reasons, similar to New Vegas, it does, in my opinion, suffer from the comparison a little bit.
I'll take your confession now.
Take the shot. Dan, you're driving right now? Dan would not drive in chat. He's using text-to-speech. Which is why, for the first time ever, his sentences actually look normal instead of insane. Is it as good as Deadly Premonition? Well, I think it is a better product than Deadly Premonition, but a less interesting piece of work, but still pretty good. Like, I don't think it's a bad game, but I do think it's not quite what I wanted out of it. It's not 100%. It's like 85% what I wanted about it, or out of it, I should say. Tab, please. Tab. They will not let me hit tab.
Can't be too careful. Dissidents like Phineas Wells will stop at nothing to ruin this colony.
But couldn't they concentrate outside the building so we can
I feel like I sort of bugged it. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's just a great game. Congratulations, you have completed. Whoops, revert. you have completed a great game. What's missing? Honestly, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I feel like I'm kind of, I feel like the scope is smaller, and it's a little bit more like I'm on rails with, like, 2 different potential, choices at every meaningful juncture. Which is, like, again, that's not a bad thing, but cannot fast travel while near hostiles. Like, I see lawful. I see good. I see evil. I feel like there's a little bit less agency in this for me to insert my own self into the story than there was in something like New Vegas. And instead, it's basically like,
Mr. Millstone, you seem like a young man.
hey, are you going to side with the... And people, there's an obvious criticism to this, so just give me a moment. But people will bring it up. But I feel like a lot of the choices basically boil down to like, hey, are you going to role play as a bad dude who supports the evil corporation? Or are you going to be a good guy and support the workers? Which is like, trust me, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like... You know, it's kind of like it's a fantasy situation. Hold on, don't take that, break that down. It's not that black and white, but it kind of is. Because I know the obvious criticism is like, well, when you're on the first planet, you think that obviously you're going to be anti corporation and just go with the workers, but then they start telling you the workers are not all good either. And I'm like, yeah, but they kinda are still like, I feel like there's like a push in the direction of like, you should definitely still not side with the corporation. That's my appraisal so far. Well, I will rob you on the way out. Never mind.
I love Byzantium. Where else are you going to find
Me too, brother. Me too.
working toilets?
We're gonna be fine. You think it's better than Fallout 3? I mean, I like it more than Fallout 3.
If I spit, think I can hit that mechanical down there?
Let me in, please. What about Fallout 4? I don't know yet, okay? I don't remember how I feel about a Fallout 4, actually. I do remember liking it more than most people. And I like 4 more than 3, which is already, like, I understand, an internet smooth brain take. But, can we take the ladder, or will we just die instantly in here? Oh. It's not real water.
What?
Nope. If she hadn't said what, she would have gotten us.
Out of my way! Never anger a man of the cloth.
Yeah, I've never played 76, and absolutely never will, so. You know, I just miss things like Caesar's Legion. You just be hanging out. All of a sudden, a group of Roman legionnaires would descend upon you. It felt a little bit like you had more, like, agency over the world as well. I don't know, like more factions and stuff like that. But anyway, you get the... I'm not the more criticism I bring up, the more it sounds like I'm complaining. But like in actuality, that's not really what I was trying to do. But I will say, like, when I played this, like, in week 1, and people were like, I think it's, like, pretty good, but not very good, I was like, these people are insane. This is exactly what I wanted. And then, like, after playing it now for, like, 4 weeks, I'm like, okay, I get it. I think those criticisms are all valid. Please. He's done it? I think he's done it. Whatever, dude. You guys are the last line of defense. Just remember that.
The strong survive and the weak perish.
Sequel's gonna be dope. Dude, maybe they could make, this could be the Fallout 3 and the sequel could be the New Vegas.
You're going down. I smite you in the name of the law.
Whoops. Sorry, sir. It's my mistake. You're doing great.
You want some of this?
Send them. Speech skills are too powerful. Honestly, I do, like... I liked playing it through with speech, and I'm sure we still have a bunch left. I think it leads to some cool stuff, but... Sure, I think there's a case to be made that that's potentially the case as well. Like, I feel like the game actually might have been more up my alley if I had actually just gone for like long-range weapons or something. Even though I, you know, don't really want to spend that much time blasting, and I've enjoyed the fact that, like, you know, we've been able to use speech to solve a lot of the stuff. It does make it a little easy for sure.
You killed the adjutant? We are outlaws in the truest sense of the word now.
I'm not gonna go kill Pavarotti, okay? People are already very upset with the fact that I didn't take her with me because she's the deepest character in any video game in history, and she has a fully fleshed out backstory and yada yada.
You'll have to connect me to the hoax comm system so I can convince her central computer.
I'm not going any deeper down that road.
If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2. Or the sun.
Okay.
Forgetfulness can be I need
No.
You'll have to
No. That's all for now. Anyway. We don't need to spend all this time talking about the things I don't like about the game. There's a lot of stuff I do like about the game. Mostly hitting the C and V button and watching Felix dropkick people in the spine over and over. That's a real positive. Skirt. What's next on the list? That's a good question. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. It will not be Pokemon, though.
Power's out, Captain. What was that?
Why not? Well, honestly, like, there's a couple of reasons. To be real with you, very little of it is actually, like, internet backlash. Because now that the game's out, most of that has fizzled as everybody's gone back on their boycott anyway. Help. But, you know, when we played Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, I just think, like, from a viewer perspective, it wasn't really, like, that engaging. I think a lot of people were just like, it's just kind of like, it's like a podcast. And honestly, a lot of the Outer Worlds has been like a podcast as well. Deadly Premonition was obviously the polar opposite of that.
What was that? Heads up, there!
So looking for more of the Deadly Premonition stuff. You know what we'll probably play? We'll probably play like, you know, D4 or something like that. I think that's more of my strong suit for Subscriber Sunday games. Whoops. Shouldn't have taken that. Sorry. Just freaking break. First off, yes, repair all. But then break down. Break down. Break down like the bridge of an Ariel Pink song. Diablo 4? Depends if we're over our Activision Blizzard discontents in the year 2025 when it actually comes out. Milk. Cacao milk. Melkman was here. Hey! Just dropkick the drone, please.
I've had quite enough of you. That's one down.
Dropkick man is dead.
Captain, you're right. Sometimes violence is the only way.
You gotta shoot him in his plasma core, dude. How about a Homefront: The Revolution? I'm just interested to know how that popped into mind for you. What made you say Homefront: The Revolution? 'Cause it's not like I'm not trying to pick on you at all. It's just a game you wouldn't expect to be suggested necessarily. I did not say P4. I will not be playing Persona 4 on the stream. Or any Persona. A Persona arena game has an orange threat level of being played. The Persona rhythm game has a beat red warning for being played. And any 150-hour-long RPG has, like, literally the red is so red that light cannot escape from it. It's a red hole. Hold on. Maybe, just maybe, I have things that could raise my hacking. Pardon me. No, not a black hole. A red hole. Like, it's so red. No, the red is so... The saturation is so high. Nothing else can escape. It's very simple. Like the opposite of blue hole. Exactly. The opposite of blue hole. I'm in. I'm in.
Can you hear me, Captain? I have successfully integrated myself into the Hope's comm systems, and am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. Would you like me to play a mood-suitable music selection while you travel to the bridge? Oh, sorry. File not found.
Take him to the bridge. Wait until Yakuza 7. It's just low odds, is the thing. Whoops.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wait.
I just pressed C to try to get the dude to drop kick the computer.
Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Me and Malf, we got to save space for our upcoming podcast about ranking food items and beverage items and other things. Like, for example, flags of the world. And, I don't know, numbers. Ranking our prime numbers. I still think, Malf, you gotta... Can you pitch Amazon Prime on a show where we just go around doing various blue-collar jobs, despite having no experience doing it? Not really, like, kind of like Dirty Jobs, but more like The Simple Life starring Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Like, I want you and me working at, like, a Tim Hortons for a day and just being like, wow, this is crazy. I'll have a toasted bagel with cream cheese, please. And then I make it. Oh, okay, you didn't put enough cream cheese in the hole. You'd be Paris for sure. That's hot. See, I'm already there. That's hot. You know, if you go to Tim Hortons, they always put too much cream cheese in the bagel hole. The bagel's like 400 calories. They put like 1,200 calories of cream cheese on it. Anyway, let's do this.
Are you sure?
Malf, pitch them. We can be like George and Jerry going into the NBC meeting.
And also potentially kill an entire planet. How is my humor now, Captain? Improved?
Let's do it.
Jump starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2. I wouldn't advise that,
I'm doing
Captain.
it myself.
If we're meant to make it, we will.
Hell yeah,
no
brother.
use worrying otherwise.
You're right, this is too complex, you do it.
Admitting a deficit.
Does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with engines that haven't been powered in 70 years on a derelict ship?
On a 3-hour tour.
Yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now.
I've leveled up, I believe. Ooh. Okay. It's a good sting.
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much.
Oh, but we took the enemies.
But he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
We're alive! We made it! I, never had any doubts.
You guys cool? No, not cool. Our disguise is worn off.
May the law have mercy on you. I won't.
They're cool? They were not cool.
Show them how it's
They
done.
looked at me and went, what? Oh, you can just talk to them when that happens. Of course. Or, hear me out here, I could just blast them. I could just left click on them 4 times and end their existence. Thank you, thank you. No, 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 no. Revert, revert. And apply. That guy had some great lore. Corporate henchman had great lore. Are you kidding? I just walked over here. Sure. Extra bonus to weak spot damage, because I'm really good at aiming. I think it's a wise move. Hello. You should play RimWorld. You should watch Mouth play RimWorld, because he has the patience to put the care into his colony that is required in order to have it run smoothly. And the only downside is sometimes his computer glitches and it leads him to have to reload. But like, it only happens now and then. It's not that common. I can make it, dude. Yeah, only after, it only seems to glitch out after he gets raided as well, which is super weird.
Captain, I am receiving a... Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received
Okay,
from Dr. Wells.
please do.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, there's something very important you need to remember. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine.
That's your last words?
Corporate swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me. I'll never...
Oh, word.
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible. How can I be of...
Goodbye.
Take care.
But yes, we are going to do that. It feels like it's winding up. The last time I watched Mouth play, he was in Edgewater. I assume whatever he was doing in Edgewater was related to the quest from Byzantium. It feels like it's like we're in the third act for sure. Excuse me, sir. Got him. Hey, hey, hey! No electricity! My only request is you do not kill Bubbles, please. That was just ruthless. This is like the end of Fallout 3 where you had the lady die instead of you. I'm just gonna level with you. I think I remember nothing from Fallout 3. Except I do remember that the Liberty Prime mission failed like 6 times in a row. Not because I made mistakes, although of course I make mistakes all the time, but because it was just like glitched as hell or something. You fought Jeff Sessions at the end? I don't remember that. I'll admit, I just do not remember. Do you remember playing Deus Ex? I know that I beat Deus Ex on subscriber streams, but I have almost no memory of that as well. Human Revolution, yeah, not the original.
Can't keep us out.
I didn't want that. Are we encumbered? We're not encumbered. There's like a lot of subscriber games I have almost no memories of. I do remember playing a lot of Dishonored, yeah. I remember all of Subnautica and the Tomo Fish. I remember all of Pokemon, for sure. A lot of Fallout 4, a lot of Witcher 3. A lot of Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2. A lot of Bully, a lot of Undertale. But there's some that I don't remember almost at all.
Please, would you kindly inform the crew that Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison
GTA? I do remember, but I had
the
forgotten
crew would
that
like
we
to
had done
speak
it.
with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Obra Dinn? I remember that. See, I haven't forgotten all of them. There's just a few I've forgotten.
Doc Wells never hurt nobody. Just a kindly old fellow.
I remember L.A.
Smoking
Noire.
rings, tinkering at his table. The board just couldn't leave him be.
When my foot got caught under the car and it broke every bone in my body.
The notion of busting him out.
Nobody knows who you are, lady. You gave me one bugged quest.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous.
What is she doing here? Oh, I think she was like, can I come with you? And I was like, yeah. For optics, I need to take you because I yeeted Pavarotti for no reason. We can't abandon him.
I am programmed
He can
to
still
warn
win.
you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
I remember
Getting
all
in
of
is the
Detroit for
simple
sure.
part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out.
This is like the
plan? We got guns.
the King's Council at
If
the
you
end
really
of Game
need
of
to do
Thrones.
this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business.
Three-eyed
Once
Raven.
you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or
Braun, for whatever reason, somehow being there, even though it makes no fucking sense at all. Oh, but they gave him the twins, so legally he was. I don't care. It just doesn't. I'm just saying. Why is it that all the fan favorite characters all ended up at the same table at the end of the game? Or at the end of the show? Okay, hold on. We're doing it. Everybody
Got my
strap in.
trusty tossball stick. Got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command,
It's pretty good.
Captain.
Can we talk?
Nope. Absolutely not. I don't even know who you are. What was the most memorable part of Game of Thrones? I mean, this is heavy Game of Thrones spoilers. I think the most excited or like anticipated I ever was for Game of Thrones was season 7, episode 2, when the dragons finally did something, and that had that awesome loot train sequence, and then Jaime Lannister fell into the river in a suit of wrought iron armor, and I was like, holy shit, dude. I'm ready. They're gonna kill Jaime Lannister, and this shit's about to pop off. And then the next episode, he just surfaced on the riverbanks.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived
Like 100 meters away, and I
Please
went.
be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution.
Looking back at the time, you're like, okay, it's kind of a weird decision. Looking back, you're like, okay, that's in line with the. Let me go, please. A lot of strange decisions made.
This is a maximum security
in sequence.
Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until...
Wait, this isn't Terra 2? My mistake? I'll just leave? I also hate to stop this to talk about Game of Thrones because it's a big circle jerk, but like, someone said Bronze Curve in Season 8 is even worse. It is definitely where I hit like a lot of malaise with the show. When Bronn like kicks down the door and is like, you fucking cunts. I got a right mind to shoot you with the crossbow. And you too, you sister fucker. And I was like, this is like, it's like when Kramer opens the door in Seinfeld and everybody cheers in the studio audience. They have like one scene together and then he's like, all right, don't betray me, and he leaves, and everyone's like, woo! Bronn, we love you! Anyway.
Your ship is not permitted to leave until you remit payment for your fines and submit yourself to execution. Only after your smoking corpse is thrown from an airlock will we lift the lockdown on your spacecraft.
No, people love Bronn. They hate Bran.
I would not recommend this course of action.
Intimidate. You hullhead, don't you know who I am? Transmit your biometric ID so I know who to fire.
Huh? Oh, yes, sir. Right away, sir. I just couldn't see you clearly before. Screen's on the fritz. Damn thing.
Got him.
But for the record, now that I hear you, I totally recognize you. Totally. You're, you, of course. Obviously.
Yeah, Bronn is in...
Anyway,
he's in John Wick 3.
Authority signing off. Have a pleasant stay at Tartarus.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Stay safe out there.
I think I should just rebrand to being like a bad speedrunner. That would get a lot of the heat off my back. I feel like there's like a perception problem right now where people are like, he's rushing through the game and not seeing it. I'm not rushing through the game. I'm just practicing my speedrun. I'm just not very good at it right now. And if you could, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it at all.
Your uniform has been rated 82% clean.
I'm a speed walker. Exactly. Let's go, boys. He's done it.
I wonder how long we last out on the surface. Entering the labyrinth's the easy part. Making it back out. I'm still trusting your plan on that one, Captain.
I mean, I don't even want to talk about it necessarily, but like I agree, like I think everybody's character development in Season 8 sucked. Like Tyrion obviously sucked. He went from being a genius to like just a complete fool. But like there's some stuff in that show that is like, I don't want to stoke fan rage, but like I would use the term unforgivable. Like you sent like a whole season giving the dude these three-eyed raven powers. He doesn't do anything. Help.
Got it. Heads down.
Processing data.
Nope.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good. Nothing to worry about, brother. Nothing to worry about. Skirt. He's done it again. The pit. Winds of Winter waiting room. Feels bad. Yeah. I mean, haven't started reading the books and may well never, but...
Perform illegal activity.
No.
Error. Employee information not found. Identify yourself.
Persuade robot.
Error. Paradox protection protocol.
He's done it. We broke the code.
Error.
Got him. Yo, that's the Witcher show starts.
The captain's here. Let's go. I want to see all of you busting ass.
What? The Witcher show starts in like early December, right? Looks pretty good. And moreover, has already been renewed for a second season.
Hold it. Something about you doesn't look right. No, I meant your uniform. There's
20th of December. Okay, well, not early then. But still. It's earlier than the 21st. Ah, it's sealed. Ah, unsealed door. Okay, unsealed. What? My fellow Americans. It's my new streamer setup. $30 meters to the center. Where's the chairman? I'll do you one better, dude. Who's the chairman? Is that Ronald Reagan we saw earlier?
You, ain't feeling jittery, are you? Because I'm not.
Everything in my life has been leading up to this point. I believe I am ready for this.
After all you've done,
This looks familiar.
you've destroyed.
Yo, this looks like a Netflix game show.
Your misguided crusade has doomed Halcyon.
Or like this looks like Saw 14. Every time you answer a trivia question wrong, a new prime number amount of volts goes through Phineas's head, rendering him legally brain dead. The choice is yours, Captain. Do you want to play a game?
That crackpot's plan is ludicrous. We have steps, action items, budgets, and reports. All he's got is a guilty conscience and lofty dreams. In any other circumstance, I'd admire your boldness.
Pretty good Saw voice.
In
Thank
this
you.
one, however,
Thank you.
I
I mean,
have
told you I
two
watched all the
words for
movies
you.
like 3 weeks ago.
Fuck off. How dare you? Even thinking about killing the chairman of the Halcyon board is a felony.
You guys think this guy looks like Brad
You're
Shoemaker?
in a prison already.
Just a little bit.
Find the nearest cell and wait until I'm done here. Then I'll drag you to the executioner myself.
No, sort of. Yes, with the hair. Kinda. I get a little bit of Brad Shoemaker out of this. I'm not really getting anybody else. It's one of my favorite games, is who does this guy look like? I'm getting like, this is like a 15% resemblance to Michael Sheen. Apart from that, I don't see anything but like old Gomez Adams.
Is that sarcasm? Do you know what I do to people who employ the lowest, most base form of humor? I fire them. Alas,
Alan
as you are
Cumming?
woefully
I could see this being
I'll give you
aged
the next
Alan
best thing
Cumming.
and have you
Yeah.
killed. In the next room is the finest automechanical purveyor of death ever made. Try not to scratch the paint with your skull. It was fucking expensive.
I'm getting in. This is a staircase skip with a Dennis Hopper edition. Ah, crap.
Oh, North, a fight.
Got him.
I smite you in the name of the law. We're not getting through.
I think we're doing okay. Don't get down on yourself. I mean, you've seen that one 100 times. You just gotta be better.
May the law have mercy on you. I won't. Here I come.
Oh, watch out. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll take care of you. Well, no, I won't, because I see that we got a shot at your crit spot. Okay, they're dead. But I thought that when I used my Dennis Hopper, I rezzed them. Is that not the case? You did? You just did? But yet they don't appear to be resurrected. Do you see my concerns here? The res has a 15-minute cooldown? Wow, got him. Hello, sir. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. Go ahead, coward. Coward. Cowards. Big cowards. Stinky cowards. PP Tiddly. That'll do. Please. Please! Oh, hello. Well, that was easy. Ooh, very nice up here. HQ 2.0. Sir, don't debase yourself. Oh no.
You like that?
Sorry, literally I think Chrome ran out of memory right as I killed the dude. I didn't get to see Chant's reaction to this guy getting one shot with a facial drop kick. I hope that was the right button. Okay. I thought it was gonna like send a laser beam into his prefrontal cortex.
You lunatic. You broke into the board's own fortress and killed the chairman just to rescue one doddering old man? You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
How would you like to be my running mate?
What? Break into the most heavily guarded facility in the most hostile world in Halcyon? No, I have absolutely no idea how you did it. You're a goddamn miracle worker. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish.
Yeah, I just sort of like ran by them.
You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Okay.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, But we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals. Nothing.
DLC bait?
2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago, and the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room.
First the food supply, and now this. That's it. I'm done.
Yo, Bernie, he's so powerful. He just turned the vicar into an atheist.
You're experiencing a crisis of faith, preacher. Don't worry. That just means you're paying attention. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Let's get started.
Yes, you're right. The road is long.
We have to leave these outer worlds.
We must begin the revival process immediately. Starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
I'm gonna do what I've always done. Whatever I want, all the time.
I doubt I could change your mind even if I wanted to. You've already done more than I could ask of you. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. But I was wrong. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together.
About that.
Somehow.
There is no together anymore. It's just us and then the lady who we gave control of that one colony. Everybody else is basically a non-entity right now.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale,
I don't think I killed
his
her.
actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the
No,
end
this
of the
song
Board's authority.
isn't appropriate. What
But
you
the
need
Board's
here is
mistakes would haunt the
go
colony
on
for
and save
decades to come.
yourself. Take
The
it
damage
on
they left
me.
behind would require the work
You
of
need a
generation to
Cochise
repair.
by Audio Slave here.
Dr.
Something with a
Phineas Wells began
monolithic
reviving a
guitar
handful
riff
of the Hope's
and a
colonies.
little bit of Chris
Engineers,
Cornell,
scientists, technicians, and
rest in
intellectuals.
peace, singing on top of
They
it.
were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had
Borderlands
no choice
3
but
had
to
This
band
Girl Is On
together
Fire for the
and
credits.
devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclast spread like wildfire. Zora's focus on logistics made for a safer monarch, where the iconoclasts enjoyed a surge of new blood looking to join the ranks from struggling townships. Life on Monarch slowly improved from a desperate fight for survival to prosperous growth and more permanent strength. Reed Thompson and Adelaide McDevitt never lived to see the collapse of Halcyon.
Correct.
Without their leadership, Edgewater and the deserters devolved into factional conflict and small rivalries. Their lack of organization left them vulnerable. Within the space of a year, both groups have been killed by a band of well-organized marauders, led by Zoe Chandler.
Who?
Junlei Tennyson fought to protect the Groundbreakers' independence. While the board's influence faded,
mechanical difficulties forced her to rely on parts that only corporations could provide. The cost was high, and time would tell if Junlei could balance the work with her aspirations for a better future. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make
Oh,
do with
Zoe
less.
was the girl that went
Some
missing, but I never
even had to
found
take
her.
jobs. It was
Seems
a
like she
dark
found
time
herself,
indeed.
so that's touching.
Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets.
What are you talking
There was
about? I
only
shot the
hard,
CEO.
desperate work of
He drop
trying
kicked
to
him in
repair a
the
broken
head
colony.
and killed him. If that's not
Felix
revolution,
never
what
had a need
is?
for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with 2 hands.
2 feet,
After
more
all
like.
he'd seen and heard adventuring with you, the vicar Maximilian de Soto renounced his faith and joined the effort to rebuild the colony. Ironically, he finally found the joy that had eluded him over the course of his life, and realized that perhaps he was always meant to be just a simple laborer after all. He quickly dismissed the idea. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. And she often wished aloud that her dad was still alive to teach her about the finer points of starship care.
It's like literally they never expected anybody to say no to her.
She found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they
They
formed
didn't
an
even
unusual
consider
bond.
that you could leave her
She
behind.
decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer.
Thief!
As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers
Is good.
often
I beat the
swear
Outer
they hear
Worlds.
her and her machine gun in the night.
Yeah.
Screaming swears.
I told you I'm a
and spitting
speedrunner.
bullets.
New house, new me.
The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of
They
the
like
product
it, new
line's
me?
superior sanitation
Full
and
stop.
maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony.
They do, but they get freaked
led
out
to a
because you
boost
come
in
in from
SAM
the other
unit
side
sales.
now. And I
Did
look
you
to the
know
other
that
side
SAM
as well.
units are the
So.
longest lasting, toughest acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest.
They
and his
not in this
contact with
view,
you
but on my
gave him
intermission
a sense
screen.
of renewed purpose
They
and
can see
vigor.
it.
Once it became clear that no help
They were
would
like,
be
when was
coming
the
from
last
Earth,
time you finished a
he
game
threw
of Dead
his
of Winter?
considerable efforts and
And I
talent
said,
into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past,
Kate said
he was
you guys
determined
owe
to
her
make things
50
right
gift subs
by building
because
toward the future.
I was about to throw out the
Dr.
buttons,
Wells
but
was
she
able
took
to
them.
revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you? the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon. You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and left Dr. Wells to his own devices. The affairs of the colony never distracted you from living out your own dreams, to captain a ship, to sail the ether, and to earn a reputation as the greatest spacer Halcyon ever had. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
I mean, it's a good game. The ending went on a little long. Considering that, I mean, I know that I played it in like a weird way, for sure. But like, I can name like less than 8 characters in the whole game. The fact that there was 20 minutes of Ken Burns' narration at the end was a little surprising to me. That's because I headed that criticism off at the past when I said that I know I played the game weird. But, you know, I think I played the game the way that was most fun for me, to be honest.